Why did I bother to spend most of my life learning more about fear and thinking more about fear and talking about it and getting people to talk about it and think about it? Well, what it comes down to, and I think we all know this, but somebody has to stand up and say, hey, I'm a regular guy, I've been observing my race, and I've come to the conclusion that when it comes right down to it, we are not so good at assessing what is the difference between a theoretical risk and an actual risk. We think at observing something that's scary and really analyzing whether we should move forward, we tend to move towards a conservative choice, do we not? We have a tendency to look at a situation and go, oh, yeah, I could, maybe, but you know what, it's too scary, it's too dangerous, it's not worth it. I got too much at stake, and I need to lean towards caution. And I would argue that most people's definition of caution, and indeed my own very often, is leaning too far in the direction of conservatism. I believe that I cost myself, and indeed we all cost ourselves, not only experiences, but freedom, as a result of paying a little too much attention to what might go wrong and not enough attention to what would go right if we took a chance, if we expanded, if we decided to look at a situation and say, hey, you know, maybe we should stand up to the homeowners association when they're doing something ridiculous. Maybe we should be part of the government in our town that leads things in the right direction, that allows for humanity to be itself, for the people of the community to be free. Free to make their choices, free to do their own thing. If you're not stepping on my toes, well, you're free to do whatever you want. And I think it's extremely important that we take a closer look at where we've gone, because, you know, I don't want to blame the lawyers, but let's face it, we have a very litigious society here in America and in many other places as well, but we, among a few other countries, have leaned way too far in the direction of this sort of conservative, terrified, overly protective society in which there is signs on coffee that says it's too hot. I mean, come on, it's coffee. You spill it on yourself, it's going to hurt. You know, what's next? On the side of the lawnmower, it's going to say, don't stick your head in here. You know, we need to, at some point, take a closer look at what is a reasonable risk, and at what point are we holding back the freedom of the people who, after all, have every right to the pursuit of happiness, every right to the pursuit of possibilities. And we have a right, quite frankly, to get hurt in the process of learning what's safe and what's not. It's the only way we're going to learn. As a father, I find that there is a part of me that wants to put this little guy in a padded room and protect him from anything dangerous so that he doesn't have an allergic reaction to a peanut or fall off of a set of stairs, and make sure that he lives to, you know, the ripe old age of 18, in which he's then allowed to go into the world. And hopefully I've armed him for bear. I've prepared him for a very complicated and obviously dangerous world, in which, quite frankly, he's going to not be prepared for if I go that route. The fearless route is the one that my conservative side doesn't understand. It doesn't get it, does it? My conservative side thinks, let's be careful, let's be cautious, let's be a good dad. And from a certain perspective, I think as a society we've kind of gone in this direction of, let's make sure we protect the people from themselves. You can't trust the people. You know, most people, they're not very smart. Well, you know what? I think most people know what danger is. And if they're going to learn the more complicated versions of danger, the more dangerous, quite frankly, things that when it comes to eating badly and living badly and having bad thoughts and being miserable bastards as a result of a legacy that has been passed on from generation to generation of complaining and negative thought and not enjoying it, the situation as it is, not enjoying the little things in life, the things that we'll appreciate when we look back when we're old and go, wow, you know, I never noticed how nice it was when the sun rises over my house. Well, you were too busy complaining about getting up early. I think that we need to all wake up to the fact that things not only are not so bad, but there's a lot about our lives that is fantastic. There's a lot about our society that's fantastic. But when we are in this state of worry, when we're in this state of complaining, we're not expanding. We're not creating the next generation's life in a way that lives well. We're not creating a society that is humanistic. We're not creating an America that is fully encompassing of what human beings require in order to be happy. The pursuit of happiness, and I would argue it would be awfully nice for some of us to achieve it. I think it's quite possible. The pursuit of happiness is something that we all have a right to, but beyond that, we have a right to be happy. We were born with that right, and we need to claim it. So smile a little more, would you? America, the next time I'm walking past you on the street, I would like, if you could, to muster an authentic smile. You know, it would be nice to be walking down the street or crossing paths with somebody as I'm boarding an airplane and have them actually be in a good mood for a change, you know, not faking it, not arguing and looking up from their argument to give me a half smile and go back to their argument, you know, or their complaint or their worry about other running out of money, their worry about the kid and the thing with the other guy, and you know, there's always a reason. And I understand they're valid reasons. They're powerful reasons and they're intoxicating reasons. And you need to let it go, America. You need to let it go because the reason why things are slowing down like a big freight train slowing down. Can you see it? That's America. It's the train called America, and it needs a little coal in the fire. We need to have a little, you know, a little chutzpah is what it's called in my generation of people from New York. They call it chutzpah. It means a little bit of guts, a little bit of fire under your butt. Who came across the ocean? It was the gutsy people, was it not? It's scary. Have you seen the ships that they rowed across? Even the people at the turn of the century. They were brave people. America, we walked on the moon, remember? That was us. So where are we now? We're a shadow of who we used to be, but it doesn't mean we have to stay that way. We need to look to the future, we need to enjoy the present, and we need to look at the past for its positive aspects and pull it forward into our positive possibility. Thank you for listening. I'm Brian Germain.